Hello and welcome to P Guru's channel. I'm your host Sri Iyer. This is a short update on what could be the reason for the election count to be downgraded. Now, I have got this thing from 2 or 3 reliable sources. In fact, I'm going to give you some links, some screenshots even to kind of give you a hint on what people are thinking. But this explanation seems plausible. So what happens, and I've been saying this consistently, that in the evening, when there is some dull time, they usually pay off the booth volunteers, and then some set of people take over, and they know by the evening which are the people who have not cast their ballots in a booth, and they just go and put the votes according to who they want. Now, keep that in the back of your mind when you understand what I'm trying to say. What did we find on the ground? At those places where the BJP looked strong, Coimbatore, Chennai South, Chennai Central, and a few other constituencies, who was weak? Who was not showing up? ADMK. Why was it that ADMK wasn't showing up? Was there a deal done saying between Pangalis that, okay, we will not really be there so that in case you want to do something, you can do it? What does that do something mean? Well, in the past, especially in the 2021 civic election polls, remember that was done by the state government election commission, not by the central government. Even in this case, the central government has the state election commissioner, but the people who are actually conducting the elections are state and government officials. It looks like, because this has happened in 2021. That's why this theory looks plausible. It looks like they were told to inflate the counts, and that the difference in the count will be adjusted by votes being cast for the DMK, assuming the elections fill up. I mean, once the elections close, there is a small gap when you have to do tallying and all that. That was the time, and you would also know who didn't cast their vote. You can fill up those votes. If that was the reason, then what happened was these were the inflated counts that were transmitted to the EC. So the first release that was made by the Election Commission was based on these inflated counts. Now, the interesting thing is, if you look at the numbers that came out, right, voter turnout of 69.46, the places where the inflated counts got down adjusted were the ones where the BJP appeared to be doing well, or those were considered constituencies that had a strong BJP presence. Those were the ones where these things were adjusted. So assuming that that is true and this is true, then if you look at it, the adjusted count, where did the big changes happen? Chennai North, about 12 to 13%. Chennai South, about 10 to 15%. And in Coimbatore, again a big number. Coimbatore here shows up, I'm trying to look at it, 64.81. That was also shown as 70-odd%, 8-9%. So when you adjust for those things, this 69.46 would have gone up to 72. You understand what I'm saying? So it was only done in some constituencies, and these were the constituencies that were perceived to be strongholds, or at least BJP had a very strong presence there. Now, imagine if this was the plan, that some officers, perhaps, again, this will not come out, EC will not say one way or the other. You have to understand that this has been the practice in the past. 2009, Sivaganga, some hanky-panky happened, right? In 2021, this was alleged by none other than Annamalai, that in Coimbatore especially, what they wanted was a win at any cost, because this was considered to be a fortress of ADMK for the civic elections. They wanted to prove that DMK could win there too. Put a lot of money, flowed in a lot of money, and also at 5:30 the CCTV was turned off, every booth agent was driven out, and then they cast the vote. Remember, that was not an EVM, so they manually did the thing. So all this points to what must have happened was that someone, whether it could be BJP itself, that pointed it out to the election commission that, look, from what we saw on the ground, the 72% that was claimed in Coimbatore seems high. The Coimbatore, the Chennai Central appeared to be high, because previous records don't show a high number in Chennai Central. You can't suddenly have a higher percentage of voting, higher percentage of voting. So something must have been amiss. So that is what was pointed out, and that's why the Election Commission realized the mistake. And what they then did was they discarded the counts. You have the machines. You can do a recount of the tally and then you retabulate, right? So let's say there were how many 6.34 lakh votes or something like that. 6.34 crore, I'm sorry, voters. So you just need to retabulate everything, check and double check, and that's why it took close to 20 hours for the State Election Commission to come back and say 69% is the final tally as far as Tamil Nadu is concerned. As to what this means, I think this is bad news for DMK. I have been saying this, Sriram Seshadri and I, and many of us have been saying this. These guys are past masters at scientific rigging. They will do anything to come back to power, given the fact that right now many of them are in a lot of hot water. So they would have tried every trick in the book to come to power. This might have been one of those things, and this has fallen flat. So it's a watchful, vigilant election commissioner who said that, okay, let us separate the water from the milk, separate the chaff from the grain, and make sure that we get our count right. And that's where the count stands now. The final number is 69.46, just as what I had said here. This is the number, and they just did it a couple of times to be absolutely sure that there is no such hanky-panky. Also, we have been told that it was difficult to do any kind of rigging because the election time extended up to 7:30 in several constituencies because there were so many people still waiting to vote. They had gotten the token, they needed to go and cast their vote. So all in all, this was a well done election thanks to EC, Election Commission. And we have to just look at what the reasons are, and then we have to come to our conclusion that, okay, this is probably what happened. I think this is still good news, because what we really want is the true mind of the voter, the true voice of the voter, the true verdict of the voter. That's all we care about, and I think that is happening in Tamil Nadu. So viewers, this is also something that you need to take a look at, of the tweet that Prime Minister Narendra Modi had put, I think in 19th, late in the evening. See, they realized the mistake after the first announcement was made. Okay, but so once that realization was made and the reconciliation was done, then Modi's tweet said something else. It was very, very positive. Also, look at his body language today in the speeches. He's very, very positive. That tells you that a revolution is on the cards in Tamil Nadu. I'm just saying from looking at all the signs. So don't kill me if this thing comes out wrong, but it appears to be a very plausible explanation. This has been done in the past. As to the TN government officials who have done this mischief, I don't know what kind of action that can be taken. It's a crime, if you ask me. But you'll have to go back and look at the rules book to say what was the crime that was committed. Because the election is being conducted by the central government authority. So there are some things there. I don't know. You will see what happens after the elections conclude, after the results come on June 4th. I just wanted to share this news with all of you guys. Very, very strong response today. Thank you so much. It's late in the night, but many of you joined in. I don't think there are any questions. I just wanted to clarify this. I got this information. I looked around, and I'm going to do the same thing in Tamil, and I'm going to be able to put some actual snippets of people talking about this. So you'll have some idea. You can go into Facebook and other social media sites to understand a little bit more in depth of what is going on. Thanks for watching. Please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to click on the bell button for notifications. Namaskar.